Hey everybody, and welcome to the Hot Tag with your girl Izzy. Today I am so excited to be previewing the 2021 WWE Money in the Bank with the associate producer, Diva, and First Lady of Busted Open Radio. You've seen her on Sirius XM for Busted Open, and you've seen her on WWE's Ultimate and WWE's Great Debate. She's the amazing and incredible Gabby LaSpisa. How are you? What's up?
Wow, what a great intro. I never get
You
introed like that on
deserve
Busted
one.
Open. I know.
Yeah,
This is
Dave
why
is
this is already
brutal.
better than anything I've ever done with Dave and all the guys. You already
I hope
treat
I
me way
hope
better.
Dave is watching this and realizes how I can give you a real intro. I hope he's watching this. Dave,
I hope he's
you're
watching
watching
and
this
taking notes. Take notes,
with a
David,
little
about
notepad.
how an intro happens. I love it. I'm so
Definitely.
excited.
Yes, me too. And thank you so much for joining me today. This is like a dream come true because we always talk on Busted Open whenever you take my call, and now we get to talk for however long we want, which is nice.
It's amazing. That's like behind the scenes thing. So when I answer calls, what nobody realizes is we love your recap from after NXT the next morning. So I love it. I get to, answer your call. And then we end up talking for like 10, 15 minutes anyway. And then I'm like, oh, I got to take all these other callers but like now there's no other callers I have to take. We can just talk to each other
This is
for as long
nice.
as we want.
Yes, and we get to talk about wrestling. We get to talk about Busted Open. It's amazing. And speaking about Busted Open, we got to get into that. And you are basically like the only woman on the show. So what is it like to work with Bully, Tommy, Mark, Ed, and even Dave? I'm sure they drive you insane sometimes. I got to know, like, how they survive.
It's a lot. People don't realize too, like it's managing these personalities is a job of its own. They're all so different. They all have their own and things that they need. Like you kind of have to almost baby them in a way to be like, oh, like you have to know how to handle each one a little bit individually.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten so used to it now. It's kind of funny because I'm the youngest and I'm the only girl. Obviously, I'm the youngest. They're all, pretty old now. But yeah, it's a job. I don't think any other female like could be able to do it, but it takes a female to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's so funny because like I always listen to the show and I hear you and like whenever you say something, I'm like, man, poor Gabby. She's going through a lot. Just leave her alone, people. She has a lot in her hands.
I got a lot on my plate. These people don't realize it's a 24-hour job. Just because we're done with the show, these guys call me up, they ask me questions. They're trying to stay trendy. I got to keep them in the loop about cool things, as you know.
Obviously.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work being, yeah. But I got to bring up the cool factor. I got to keep them, in with everything going on. It's a 24-hour job, but it's worth it. It's so much fun. It's awesome. And they're the best.
Yeah. And sorry if I like keep on pausing right before you speak because like the internet is acting so weird right now. And I'm so sorry, everybody, but we're getting through it. Hurricane Elsa, she's cooking up a storm here in Florida. But you were talking about on Busted Open.
Gosh, we've had storms in Jersey too, actually.
I know. And like we keep on like I'm talking and then like you go in and I'm like, wait, no, we just want to talk about Money in the Bank. But you were talking about on Busted Open the other day about the one stroke challenge, if I'm even allowed to say that. I gotta know, what do you look for in this challenge? Like, what does like a competitor need to have? What's like
That's a good question because people have been very angry at me about my ratings. They want to know. And listen, it's my challenge. I can rate it however I want. That's what people need to understand, first of all. So you got to put a little bit of sauce on it. I prefer ranch.
Okay, well, how about for the viewers who don't know this is, explain to them what it is because like just putting
the one stroke challenge.
Just cool. Like maybe explain it to the viewers, but also tell us what you look for.
Sure. So the one stroke challenge started, I would say, a couple weeks ago now, of course, with Bully, because I can take a chicken wing and eat the entire thing by putting it in my mouth and then just taking the bones out. So it's one stroke, all the meat comes out. So now, I said, I don't think it's that easy, but I think everyone should try this at home. Of course, be safe. Don't choke on any chicken. That would not be fun for anybody. So I was challenging the nation to do it. And my requirements are, you don't have to do a drumstick. The flats are way easier. So try with those first if you've never done it. Just because I prefer ranch, you don't have to. And then you just got to stick it in and stroke it out and get all the meat. If you're taking a little too long with it in the mouth, that's some points off. No sauce, a little bit of points off, depending on how much chicken's on the bone when you pull it out. So just keep doing it, because when it gets to a certain point and I'm very impressed, I will show it of me doing it, which is what everybody really wants to see.
Oh, okay. I think we're all waiting for that moment to happen when you do post a video of you just shoving a chicken wing into your mouth. It's gonna break the internet.
I'm very ladylike.
Yes. And speaking about videos you've posted before, recently you posted a video of you at a wedding and you catch this you caught this bouquet of flowers. And let me just say, you looked incredible. That dress was adorable.
Oh, thank you.
But I gotta ask you, like, with Money in the Bank coming up and like people are trying to catch the briefcase, you know, like, you know, no pun intended, catch it and everything. You know, who would you throw a bouquet of flowers to? Like, WWE superstar wise, like who would be that person?
Oh, like men, I would want to throw the flowers to catch it, so that we were.
Oh, if you want, like whatever you want,
getting married or something. I mean, now it's going to get into my predictions of who I think is going to win, because I'm going to throw my bouquet to whoever I think is going to get the briefcase.
Yeah, very true.
But I will say this about the bouquet tossing thing, because everyone thinks that means like I want to get married tomorrow. That has nothing to do with why I want to catch the bouquet. I am just, and I think you would understand this because you're very competitive.
Yes,
just like me. Even if I'm married, I'm going to want to catch the bouquet, because I want to beat everybody at no matter what I'm doing. So I am now 3 for 3 on bouquets, just at the weddings I've been to. And that's going to continue on even to when I find a man and I am married. It's all about the competition. It's not about being married after. I just want to beat you. That's really what it comes down to.
I don't listen.
But yes, that's
really
what it came down
to. The whole bouquet, throwing the bouquet thing. I've never really gotten it. It's like, why would I want to give away something that I cherish? I mean, like, who wants a bunch of dead flowers running in their house?
There were so many flowers there. So many flowers. Oh. The weddings are just, it's an abundance of flowers, you know? And then they were like, do you want to take the flowers home with you? I was like, what am I going to do with them?
Just have them sit on your counter. I mean, like, that's the thing with flowers. They're beautiful, they're adorable, but like, once you just have them, you're like, okay, what do I do with this? I know for the 4th of July, the people that came over to our house, they got us like these really cute 4th of July themed flowers. And I was like, oh wow, it's really cute for the day and like the holiday and everything. Then like Monday came around and I was like, what do we do with these? These are gonna die any second now.
Yes, like flowers look good. And I say this even about like presents. Like I did this on my Valentine's Day special. Flowers are great. The idea of them is great, but I would rather have like something else that I could eat, like chocolate or something like sentimental. Like flowers just die. They look nice, but like there's no purpose.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think it's time to get into Money in the Bank. We don't want to keep the people waiting. And I want to start off with the women's Money in the Bank match featuring, hopefully I can remember everybody, featuring Asuka, Nikki Ash, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Zelina Vega. Wow, I did really good. But we have 2 more women to be determined for this match. Gabby, break this match down for me. Who do you have winning, and who do you have for those 2 spots that are waiting to be filled?
So what's interesting is I think that obviously Bailey got injured, so that kind of changed things around. I know, very sad.
I saw it and I was like, oh,
I feel terrible.
No. Yeah,
I feel terrible. Because I know Carmella was supposed to be in the Money in the Bank match, and now she's going to be up against
Bianca. Yeah.
So I think it's interesting. Yes. I do think that one of the newer entrants will be Sasha Banks. I can't really see a Money in the Bank without her on the card. She just brings so much to the table. I think it would add a sense of competition and like higher up the level of females in the Money in the Bank challenge. And I think she would be a safe bet to say as a winner because it's Sasha Banks. But I think it would be interesting for Alexa Bliss to win because we've kind of seen this character emerge of her. She's doing a phenomenal job as this character. Honestly, it's insane to me how it started off with the Bray Wyatt and now it's just turned into her kind of taking it over. And I think it could add an entertaining aspect to the match with like the lights going out or her kind of, doing some kind of weird things with the doll. I think there's a lot of dynamics that can go into it. And then I think if she has it, it's going to add a sense of even more mystery or what's going to happen next when she has the briefcase. So my prediction, who I think would be the most interesting to win because I want to see something different, is Alexa Bliss, which is kind of a little bit of a wild card. But that's my guess of it so far.
So I'm with you with that on Alexa Bliss winning. I feel like her character has been something that we've been watching for a while. Like you said, it has started with Bray Wyatt and now it's turned into something so different and interesting, something that we can't keep our eyes off of. I'm really enjoying this character with the doll. One of my favorite moments with this whole character is when they I don't want to say Photoshop, but when they had the doll in the pictures of Alexa Bliss when she was younger, I thought that was
oh my gosh.
They took that story and the character to a whole nother level. So that's really, I don't want to say that this picture is why I have her winning, but it's going to be something different if she won, There's going to be fans at Money in the Bank. So you want something that's going to be like, whoa, this is awesome. And also I can see her cashing in on Rhea Ripley. They had a little something at the Royal Rumble, and I really thought that was going to be Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss. That was going to be the first feud, but obviously wasn't.
Right.
But I feel like it's going to be a fun story. It's going to kind of give us a fresh breath of air with the whole Charlotte, Rhea, and Asuka whole feud. And I honestly think Alexa would be good as Money in the Bank winner. But also, I feel like my dark horse is Nikki Ash. And listen, I've seen what people are saying about her character. It's a little bit of mixed reactions. At first, I was like, I don't know. But now I'm kind of into it. And I'm not really sure why. I think it's kind of like that inspiring character that a lot of younger kids can look up to. And I feel like that's such a great way to get people invested. This has happened with countless kids. The kid falls in love with this one wrestler, then the parents fall in love with that wrestler. They buy the kid the t-shirt, then they're buying tickets for a WWE show to go see that one wrestler. It's a whole chain reaction. So I feel like Nikki has that whole look and vibe. She's a superhero. Who doesn't love a superhero? Definitely attracts a kid's, attention.
Right.
But I'm really in between Alexa and Nikki. Right now, I have Alexa, but my dark horse is Nikki Ash. For those two spots that have not been filled yet, I don't know about Sasha. I won't be surprised if it's Shotzi and Tegan since they just debuted on SmackDown. It's definitely just throwing them right into it. But I wouldn't mind also with the debut of Toni Storm coming up.
Yes.
I'm not really sure when she's debuting. Maybe it's next week, even though we're filming this 2 weeks before Money in the Bank. But I won't be surprised if it's one of the newer NXT girls. Toni Storm, Shotzi, or Tegan. Most likely it's going to be Shotzi and Tegan. First off, or not Shotzi and Tegan, I'm sorry, Shotzi and Toni. Because Tegan, listen, I don't want her to get injured. She just returned.
I know.
Keep her safe for a little bit until she's, but, I'm excited for this Money in the Bank match. I like who's in it. It's different. It's not something that we've seen a lot. I'm excited for this one, and it's people that I want to see win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
No, I agree completely. I think it's going to be Sasha and Toni. That's just my opinion on the two. I think bring in one of the veterans, bring in one of the new stars just to kind of mix it up a little bit. But I mean, I know this is a very far left choice to win that briefcase because she is such an underdog and she's been fighting every single week. And, you know, she just lost Ruby. So I feel like she's kind of finding her footing on her own. I don't foresee it happening, but if it did happen, that's someone I could totally get behind. And she's from Jersey. So like, I just love that about her secretly.
Yes, of course. It's relatable.
But, yes. It's a good array of females. I'm really excited. I think it's good mix of talent, personality, and character that we kind of haven't seen in a while. So I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree with that part. You know, you have Asuka, who's been, even though she's been in the title picture recently, but then you have other superstars who haven't really fully been in the title picture that you want to see go for the title. I like that. And it's kind of like that unpredictable feeling, which is why I'm like, oh, Alexa Bliss could win, but then Nikki Ash could win. I also could see Liv Morgan win.
You never know.
There's so much. And then you have the two superstars for it to be determined. It's really throwing me off, but I like the factor of matches. It's a lot of fun. But I want to get into the men's Money in the Bank match. Hopefully I can remember all the superstars in this match. And this, yes, thank you, do it for me. But this men's Money in the Bank match features Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Matt Riddle, John Morrison, and then on the SmackDown side, you have Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, Vicky, and Seth Rollins. I almost forgot it there, but we got it, everybody. Gabby, go ahead. Who do you got winning this match?
So this is very interesting to me because I think it could go a lot of different ways depending on where we want to see the winner of the Money in the Bank go. My pick for the men's Money in the Bank is Big E, which is a little interesting, but I think he's such a fan favorite. I think we only got the taste of Big E a little bit this year and it didn't fully come out all the way yet. And that's somebody I want to see in that title picture, the big title picture, in that big main event at a WrestleMania, at a Royal Rumble. It's something so big for the pay-per-view. He deserves it. Every time he comes on the screen, I'm invested emotionally. He's just so good. And I would be smiling ear to ear if I saw him win that Money in the Bank. But he's up against some competition, you know, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. I think any way that it goes in that kind of angle, the end goal and the end game of what match they're going to jump into and who they're going to, you know, cash in on could go so many different ways. This one's a hard one for me, honestly, but my choice is Big E. And I want to see it. Like, I'm going to be mad if it's not Big E. That's just me.
Listen,
I need to know who you want to pick though, because I was torn.
So once again, we're agreeing. I have Big E winning, but I also have my eye out for Seth Rollins because, you know, Seth, he had this giant return. It was awesome. Everybody was excited. And I really like this whole Messiah sort of character in the whole suit. I've always loved that character since day one. It's so different and it gives me like that cult vibes. I don't know. It's like, I like that. I always love those type of characters, but also, like you were saying about Big E, he's a fan favorite. He is the guy that you can have him as the face of the company, literally. I don't know why, but whenever I see him come out, you know, on the Tron, it says "Think Big," and I don't know, it's such a perfect motto and tagline for him. It's something that people can get behind. And going into SummerSlam and going into WWE, going back on the road, you know, you want him on front of the poster.
Right.
I feel like him versus Roman is going to be a perfect storyline. Roman has been on fire recently with the promos and his character. Even though he's a little preoccupied with Edge, I feel like Big E is really the person that needs to win this Money in the Bank briefcase. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be awesome. And you're going to have the fans there. You need a big reaction.
Yes.
And I really feel like through social media, the fans are behind him, even though the WWE Universe aren't at the Thunderdome, but they will be soon. And I'm so excited for the return of the WWE Universe. So I got Big E winning. I'm so happy that we agreed on all of
I can't believe we agreed. This makes terrible shows because we're supposed to like argue and like
yeah, very true.
People.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when
We're
Dave
smart.
came on the hot tag to do a Royal Rumble preview, let me just tell you, we disagreed, we argued, we fought. I had to teach him about these whole Gen
Oh,
Z terms, and it was terrible. It gave me a headache. Like, I need to take a good week break of everything, like
this is
school.
my life every day. Welcome
I
to my
know, it's
life.
like, Dave, come on. And let me just say, Dave, let me just say this. Like, the ratings when you were on, they were low. They were very low. They were the lowest the hot tag has ever been. I was embarrassed.
Wow.
And with
Wow.
Gabby being on, the ratings are gonna skyrocket. They're gonna boost. Like,
Oh
it's
my
gonna be
God.
nice. And I'm
I
excited.
can't wait to talk about this on Busted Open because he's going to be very upset
He
that
is.
just me being on is already raising the ratings, because I think I raised the ratings for Busted Open too. He's great in all my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But the ratings when Dave was on, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, now the hot tag, like, we're gonna have sponsors. We're gonna be
Wow.
on big networks. This is awesome. I love this.
That's what you deserve.
Thank you. So thank you for coming on the hot tag. I appreciate it.
Of course. I wouldn't be I was so excited. This is the
Oh
best.
my goodness. I had such a great time, and I'm so happy that we got to do this and this all worked out. And I really appreciate you doing this a week. Well, I'm sorry. Or is it 2 weeks? A week? I don't know. Yeah, a week. I'm sorry. I said 2 weeks before. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I said, so we're doing this a week before Money in the Bank. I really appreciate you doing that. And yes, and doing this on a weekend too. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
And I'm doing this, by the way, for everybody to know, the day before the England-Italy final, which is going to give me probably an anxiety attack. I know you don't watch soccer, Izzy.
I don't. That's why I was like, what?
It's a very big deal for Italy to be in the final of the Euro Cup tomorrow against England. We argued with Nick Aldis on the show during the week about it because, you know, he's from England. Mm-hmm. But this was a nice distraction, so I wasn't thinking about it. And I would come on any day that you need me. You know I love you. You're one of the best interviewers I've ever been around. And I see these guys every week, and I think you're a little bit better. Maybe you could teach the guys some things.
Maybe
but I had the best
Dave.
time, and I was so excited, and I'll come back anytime you want me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Let's not start that going. Mother Marissa would not be happy with that.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much, Iz. I had the best time.
Thank you. And thank you guys, yes, you watching this, for tuning into this episode of The Hot Tag with your girl Izzy and Gabby LaSpisa. We will see you guys next time. Bye.